Hey coaches, what's going on? It's Coach Beast here with another video, and I have a great one for you today. We're going to talk about the hybrid formation. That's right, the 4-4 Reaper defense, and I'm going to share with you how I flexed this defense from a 4-4 Reaper defense to a 6-2 defense to a 4-2-5 Ring of Fire defense. And if you haven't already, do me a solid like and subscribe to the channel. You'll really be helping me out big time. And also, if you're interested in any of my playbooks, you can just go down to the description box below. All of my playbooks in the Beast Unleashed bundle is 85% off. So if you're interested in that, you just go down to my description. All right, guys, let's get to it. So a quick history on my relationship with the 4-4 defense, all right? So when I first started coaching youth football, I was running the 4-4 defense just because that's what we ran in high school, that's what we ran in junior high, and it's what I knew. So I started running this defense at the youth level when I started coaching, and guess what? My team didn't have no experience. We had one kid that only played football for 1 year. So I was literally working with a bunch of kids who needed a lot of development, right? So I wanted to run the 4-4 defense, and I was contemplating on running the 4-4 defense or a 4-3 defense at the time, right? And boy, when I tell you, when we ran the 4-4 defense, we was the number 2 team in the league for most of the year. Then we ended up being the number 1 team in our league on defense near the end of the year. And it was all due to this 4-4 defense, all right? The 4-4 defense is my base defense, okay? I've been running the 4-4 defense for about 15 years, all right? And so as more youth football teams started to run the spread, I realized that, okay, I had to make some changes to our defense. Now, our principles and our goals don't change, okay? Our goal is to shut down the offense's running game, right? Our goal is to shut down the quarterback, cut the head off the snake. And then we want to shut down their best ball carrier. That's the goal regardless of what formation we run. Because what my defensive philosophy is, if we can shut down a team's running game, we've crippled them and we've made them half of a team. And that's what we want to do. Since youth football teams are going to run the ball 80 to 85% of the time, you're going to hear me say that a lot because it's important. Literally, that stat tells you what you need to shut down, right? So, you know, we're dedicated to stopping the run in youth football, and we want to force them to pass. If they beat us in the passing game, they deserve to win that game because we're going to make it hell on earth for them to score on us running the ball, and we're going to put a lot of pressure on this quarterback for him to make plays, which on the youth football level, I hate to say this, but it's really overwhelming and even sometimes traumatic for that quarterback who gets flurried with, you know, these linebackers and these defensive ends coming after him. So we are very aggressive, we're very intentional, and we're very smart with how we approach the game of football on the defensive level. So as years went on, teams wanted to start spreading us out. A lot of youth football teams in our league, they like to do a 1-by-2 look, right? And they'll use this slot receiver really just to block and just to crack down. And so I used to run more of a stack look, right? Where these outside linebackers would just be stacked, right? They wouldn't be right here to the outside. They'd be stacked right behind the DN. Well, what we found out, and of course, this is me early on, 21, 22 years old, is that when they spread us out, it's really easy for this slot guy to just crack down, go second level, and they have explosive passing plays, right? So we decided to cut that out, and we had to make some changes in the defense. So the first change that we ended up making was we wanted our outside linebackers to play outside the box and play edge control. We want to control the edge with our outside linebackers. And so that's what we did. One of the big rules that we have is if there's a slot receiver right here, we want our outside linebacker on his outside shoulder. And that's very important to highlight. And for some reason, I keep putting my towel down here. We want him to be about 1 yard to the outside shoulder of this slot guy, okay? Because we don't want him to get crack blocked. We don't want him to get down blocked or anything like that, right? If anything, we want this kid to try to come out here and reach, and our backer secure the edge, okay? That's what we like to do, because we want to bounce running plays to the outside back in, okay? Now, that was the whole purpose of us kind of flexing our backers out, and we do this today. We flex them out. Now, our backers are typically about 5 yards to the outside guy, so 5 yards to the outside. This guy may be like 7 yards. Like if it was another slot receiver, we're going as far out as we can. We typically don't go past 7 yards, but we will go as far as 7, 8 yards, okay? Very important. So let's say that we're playing a team where they're just running the ball. They may, let's take away this formation. Let's say they're trying to run some kind of power on us, right? They're running power. Let's say this guy's more of a wing. Let's see. Let's take this receiver away. And let's say they're just trying to run it down our throats, okay? They're just trying to run it down our throats. We will shift these backers. We will flex them into now more of a 6-2 look. So instead of them being back off the ball, which usually these guys are about 3 yards off the ball, our outside linebackers, our middle linebackers are about 5 yards off the ball, okay? That's just a quick note, all right? So what we'll do to flex it into a 6-2 defense is we're just bringing them backers down. We're just bringing them down. Now you got a 6-2 defense, right? And guess what? The assignments don't change. The assignments don't change. If we doing a Bama blitz, we still doing a Bama blitz. If we do like a 4-4 Bama blitz, right? We still do a Bama blitz in a 6-2. Nothing really changes. The only thing that changes is the amount of pressure that we apply to the offensive line. And that's very important to know. So here's another thing we do. Let's say we're going against a team that's a really good spread team, right? Really good spread team. So let's say they got a slot here. Let's say they're running 2x2, right? So they got 2x2 going on. They got some 2x2 action going on, right? So what do we do? Do we stay in a 6-2 if a team doing a 2x2 look? Now, I will tell you this, even though these teams are shifting into these looks, they're still going to try to run the ball, okay? 80 to 85% of the time, regardless of what formation they run. But there are some teams who will pass it or get the ball to their best ball carrier more often, okay? So if a team switch to a 2x2 like this, we'll switch into our 4-2-5 defense, okay? Our 4-2-5. Now our backs are going back a little bit. All right? So now you got basically a boundary safety. You got a star, right? And we just flexed it. That's all we did. If we want to do our cloud look, we still play cloud. We can still play cloud with this guy, whether he's right here or right here, if we wanted to, right? But the goal of flexing the 4-4 Reaper defense is all about being adaptable and putting your players in the best position to be successful, right? It's not smart to just have your kids in the box and a team's running a 2x2, okay? Because if you're playing against a good team with a good coach, he's going to recognize the mismatch and he's going to try to exploit it, right? And usually they try to exploit it with some kind of pass play or some kind of one-on-one matchup. We don't want our flex guys to get caught up because usually our star is going to be the guy to make most of the tackles on defense. Our boundary safety is usually going to be the guy that gets the most sacks in the defense, okay? That's usually how it works. So that's what we do, Coach. We flex it. We keep it very simple. Very simple. For the kids, we don't change the terminology up too much, right? If we're going to do a Bama Blitz, we're going to do it in different sets, you know. I'll call 6-2 or I'll call 4-4 or 4-2-5. But if I say Bama Blitz or Cloud or Sky or something like that, they know what to do. They know how to adjust, right? And that's how you keep youth football simple. You keep it easy, and you put your kids in a position to be successful and extremely dominant on defense, all right? So, Coach, I hope you got value from this video. If you did, again, do me a solid, like and subscribe to the channel. Again, if you have any questions about my playbooks, feel free to drop comments below. If you're interested in getting the playbooks for yourself, you can just go down to my description box below. All right, Coach, until next time, win more games, score more points, and beast out. Peace.